In most cases, they hired you for a reason. They want you for a reason. I can help you out. Hi, my name is Sharon. I'm so excited to be here with you today. I live in Washington, D.C., and I just graduated from grad school with a master's in business administration. I start work next week, and I thought, what better time to start a YouTube video? Not the past 3 months when I've been on break, and not the 3 months prior that we were in quarantine for COVID, but now. Nothing like the present. So this first video was kind of inspired by a situation with a friend recently. My friend who recently also graduated from grad school with a specialized degree got a job offer in that specific industry. And I watched my friend kind of shrink within herself and struggle for the words when talking to an HR representative from the company that was looking to hire her and from other companies that were looking to interview her and give her better offers. Her voice got quiet. She didn't know what to share. Sometimes she overshared. She didn't know what her value was within the industry. So she couldn't really advocate for herself. And I watched this gorgeous, smart girl just crumble in the situation because she was too uncomfortable to advocate for herself and to negotiate properly. And I feel like with people our age, with millennials, and especially when it comes to millennial women, we're so uncomfortable in those situations when it comes to negotiating at a job, asking for more, asking for a promotion, going to a new role. And I feel like enough is enough. And beyond that, I think that even in our everyday lives, a lot of young people face all this anxiety when it comes to just doing basic things. Like, people are afraid to ask someone on a date, to tell them that, I like you. They're afraid to try a new trend because they think they're too lame. They're afraid to switch careers because they're not sure that, they can really make it in something new and don't realize how transferable their experiences are. And I'm hoping that my channel can help you just live your boldest, bossiest life. Stop being afraid of what's to come and really embrace the best parts of yourself to live your best life. This first video is really about how to negotiate. This mainly applies when you've gotten a new job offer, or maybe you're up for a promotion or switching roles completely. How do you really advocate on your behalf and get what you want and what you deserve? There are really 3 main steps that make you successful at this. The first step is do your research. When you get a new job, you should figure out, in that role, in your location, what is the amount that most people get paid. So the more specific the information you can get, the better. So look at your role, look at the company, look at the location that you live in. When I was in the situation with my friend, she got her job offer and accepted it, and then right afterwards was offered another job that was completely the same role within the same location, and they offered her more money when she didn't even realize that that was a possibility. So really do your research going into the situation to know how much you can expect to be compensated in a role. You can do some of this research on websites like Glassdoor and Indeed, but you can also just go to Google and type in job name here and salary and see what you get, and then go more specific for your area. The other thing I'd recommend is talking to people who work at the company, who have been in that role, and just be candid. I think an issue that we have is people feel so uncomfortable talking about salary and compensation and all that stuff that they don't really bring it up, but maybe you can find someone at the company that you can talk to about it so that they're transparent with you and you know what to expect going into the scenario. The next thing I recommend is knowing what you want. So after you've done all that research and figured out, okay, this is what I can expect to get paid. And I'd also say that on those websites, it'll give you an average and then it'll give you a range. And you can kind of figure out based off of your job experience, your degrees, or other personal qualifications where you might fit in the range. If you're just starting out, you might be at the bottom end, but if you have experience in that industry or additional degrees, you might be above average in that range. So really be aware of that going into it and know, okay, this is what I think I'm worth. This is what the average person in this area gets paid. But don't just think about things in terms of your salary. Think about benefits you want. Think about a 401k. Think about vacation days. These are all things that are negotiable, and people don't necessarily ever think about these things. Also think about, are you relocating? Do you need a relocation bonus? Is that something that would be important to you? A lot of the times companies may not be able to really have wiggle room on salary, but they can give you something like relocation, which is a one-time payment. Also things like vacation days, maybe you don't care that much about how much you get paid, but you want that work-life balance, and that's something that doesn't cost the company money, so maybe you can negotiate more vacation days or PTO for yourself. These are all things that you should go into the conversation thinking about. It's really important to have a great understanding of your life stage and your life goals and what you want to achieve, and then tie that to what you want in terms of a full benefits and compensation package. So maybe down the line you want to have children. Does the company have maternity or paternity leave, and are they offering you everything they can in that area? How are the healthcare benefits? Do they do 401k matching? Are you working from home? Do you need some money to go towards your work from home setup? These are all little things that can just make your experience better, that the company might have more wiggle room when it comes to. Third, I would say, and this is more so of a bonus, but it really helps your position, is have a plan B or a backup plan. When I took a negotiations class in business school, they called this the best alternative to a negotiated agreement, a BATNA. This basically means that you have to have in your mind a point that you'd be willing to walk away. Now, this is obviously really hard for a lot of people, which is why I'm saying this is a bonus. If you have only one job offer, you might not be willing to walk away because that's all you have. This is why it's really important to make sure that you are looking at multiple options and putting yourself in a good position to maybe have a backup offer, so that if nothing else, you could at least weigh those two against each other and look at what each of them are offering you. So you can say to company A, well, look, this company is offering me this compensation plan, this salary, this amount of PTO. Are you willing to at least match that? And it really helps to have that backup plan so that you feel more comfortable walking away. Now, if you don't have a backup role, it might be helpful to just figure out whether it's worth it to you. So is this role worth it to you no matter what, or do you want to keep searching? Because if you have any type of flexibility, that automatically puts you in a more advantageous role. If in the back of your mind you know, okay, I can't do this if they don't meet me here, that automatically gives you a little bit more confidence going into the negotiations. But when talking to a recruiter or HR representative, you can then say, I'm sorry, I can't do this if you can't meet me halfway here. And that seems crazy. It might sound a little wild to you to say that to someone, but honestly, in most cases, they hired you for a reason. They want you for a reason. So they'll be willing to be flexible on some of the terms. I know I said there'd only be 3 steps, but actually there's gonna be 4. When you actually go to negotiate with a recruiter, HR representative, or whoever at the company that you're talking to, make sure you're asking them what they're flexible on and being transparent about what you need. I know this sounds weird because you don't want to show all your cards, but when they know what's most important to you, and then you know what they're willing to be flexible on, you can kind of meet in the middle. And that's really what a negotiation is, right? You're not just telling someone what you want, you have to figure out what they want and what they're willing to do so that you're both compromising. So when you go into it, you might want to rank what's most important to you. Is it salary, PTO, 401k, healthcare benefits? And tell the recruiter that these are my 4 most important things in that order, and maybe they can't negotiate on, PTO, but they can negotiate on salary and 401k. Maybe they can't negotiate on 401k, but they can negotiate a tiny bit on salary, and they can give you a little bit more PTO. This is a conversation that you have to both meet in the middle and figure out what's most important to each party and how to figure out a middle agreement. And throughout this whole process, what's most important to know is that they really did offer you a job for a reason. So you have qualities that they want at their company. So don't think about it like they can just hire someone else or I'm a dime a dozen. Really go into it thinking that you have qualities that they want, because that'll make you more confident in the process. And don't feel like just because you're negotiating, you're gonna burn bridges. This is a process that they expect and that they've prepared for. And they'll be impressed to see that you've come prepared as well. I know I'm definitely guilty of going into this situation being a little bit more timid, not knowing what words to use, but I promise you that if you do this preparation, you'll be ready to talk about whatever they bring up, and you'll be ready to defend why you want what you want. Don't be afraid to ask for what you want and need, and know that you're worth it. And this applies in situations outside of a career, outside of negotiating for a job or salary, right? When you're talking to a car dealer, if you take these steps, you'll be more prepared to go buy the car that you want at the price that you want. I've used this when talking to an airline and getting them to waive the fee to cancel a flight. I've done this with credit card companies. These are the same steps that will apply to multiple aspects of life. So just get prepared, do your research, and know what you want and ask for it. And be transparent about why you want those things. And then come back here and then let me know how it goes. Leave me a comment below on if you've ever tried to negotiate things or if you've used my steps and they've worked for you. And also let me know what other topics you'd want to hear more about to live your best, bossiest life. If you've enjoyed this information and want more, please give me a big thumbs up below and subscribe to my channel, and I'll keep the content coming. Thank you.